Good morning and welcome to Morning Java, brought to you as always by Get Go Cafe and Market. Right now, they've got the smoothies, they've got the lattes, they've got all the... What is wrong with you? I was on fire! I had it! This is like our third take, so excuse us. It's been a long night. Anyways, Dale, Steelers get a big win over the Dolphins.
Carter's all fired up over the Steelers beating the Dolphins.
I'm not fired up. I'm the one sitting here. This is our third take. Look at this guy. But anyways, Dale, they had a big game. They came back from a 14-0 deficit.
They scored 27 consecutive unanswered points.
Yes.
And really turned it around both offensively and defensively. They started getting the turnovers. They started actually making things happen on offense, and it all started with Brian Flores
most ridiculous thing
calling a timeout when his team was going to drop into coverage, and then all of a sudden they go zero coverage and they blitz 8 guys. And Mason Rudolph hits Deontay Johnson. They blitzed 8 guys, and 2 guys went with Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
That left everybody else with one guy.
Yeah.
And so nobody covered Deontay Johnson.
And he runs across the field. On 3rd and 20, that was the most bizarre thing. And the thing is that Rudolph had been struggling. They were running man 2 deep, man 1 deep, but they were making life hard for Rudolph out there because a lot of times that when he was dropping back, he wasn't comfortable with what he was seeing. He was struggling. That once that pass broke open, you saw all that rust kind of just fall away for him.
You did, and I'm not comfortable watching Dayon sit here and eat pizza the whole time.
Okay, Hunter.
Hit me.
The defense had 4 turnovers in this game.
It's a lot. Again,
they add up to 19 on the season. That gives them the second most in the NFL behind the Patriots, who have 25. They're ahead of a team like the 49ers, who have Nick Bosa and who's wrecking shop right now. What was your impression of seeing how this defense, especially responding from the lead that they gave up?
For sure. The thing I like in this discussion is that all through training camp, all through OTAs, what was the narrative with this?
Turnovers.
We got to get turnovers, and now it's actually happening. But it's happening from different guys as well. You know, Minka gets 2 of the picks, but one of them comes off a tip. You know, do you really credit him with that one? That one's caused by the guy in front of him as well. Mm-hmm. Mike Hilton with a great punch out. People keep wondering, why is Mike Hilton playing all these snaps? He has that weird eye test thing about him. He just plays football. Like, he just gets
He's a football guy.
He almost had a pick, too, as well, on a little screen that should have never even been close. So he just does these little things, and it's all coming together for this defense. They've maintained that aggressive mentality. It's paying off for him.
It certainly is paying off. You saw T.J. Watt. He got into it. He had a 2 strip sack. He was on fire in this game. I talked to him after the game, Hunter, and he was saying like he was diversifying his moves. He was getting used to the chess match, making life harder for offensive tackles to predict where he's coming from. I was extremely impressed with the way that they used even some new formations and how they were rushing the passer.
Absolutely, and TJ's one of those guys, man. You see it. Once he has the tackle on his heels, he just keeps going. It's like a shark with blood in the water with that guy. Once he got heated up, you knew it was going to be a bad day coming down the stretch for them.
All right, so Dan, how's that pizza?
Dude.
Yeah.
My day started at like sunrise.
At 6 a.m.
with a certain more significant event that occurred across.
What happened? I have no idea what you could be talking about.
Football guy.
I have no idea. What could you be speaking of?
Football guy. The Pirates.
Oh. Did they do something?
They did something.
But it's October. They never do anything October.
Oh,
got him.
There he comes. I'll tell you what impressed me the most in this game, if anything, and I mean, they did win. I mean, it's a National Football League game, blah, blah, blah. I know people are going to ride them for what the score was at halftime.
Of course.
But honestly, I've seen them come off by some of the offensive linemen who've been around for a long time. We're talking openly about it, just like, this is what happens. Mm-hmm. But I like the fact that more than anything, somebody at some point in that wide receiving core started to make some plays.
Yeah.
And by that, I don't just mean separation. We saw 50-50 balls. The best one, the Juju one down there. Now, everybody's going to talk about Deontay's in the zero coverage and everything, and they should. But Juju, that defensive back, whose name I already forgot, all the
number
Dolphins.
30.
Yeah, 30. That defensive back, he could not have played that better.
He did,
And 25 for Miami, who's a really good player.
Howard, yes.
Was all over Juju. That he still wasn't getting great separation, but he started making plays on the football. Deontay Johnson did make I'm not talking about the obvious
Of
one,
course.
the separation.
No, but
that wasn't separation. That was like heading out into the solar system, right?
but that's the thing. He has been forcing defenders to respect different moves. He said this week, he told Hunter, it's getting easier for him now. And I think that's the thing right now is that you see these receivers. I've been saying all season, they're getting open, they're getting separation. Now you started to see.
I just don't agree with you on that. I'm not in a position to disagree strongly because you're sitting there obsessing over every tract of film. But I get that and I respect it. I haven't seen what I wanted to see in terms of play separation for these guys. And I didn't see it early in this game. And that said, it wouldn't have mattered because Mason was so far off.
And that's the thing. But when Mason came around, they got opportunities. They made the plays. And I think that's
I'll tell you one thing Dale and I agreed on. That 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
From when they had their backs against the goalpost.
It was huge.
And nothing was going on. And this place was booing.
Dead. Yeah.
Don't let the narrative change.
No,
this place
dead.
was No, they were booing.
No, but they were booing. But I'm saying like they were like not feeling it at all.
And then all of a sudden, there's one simple play. Nice throw by Mason. First down. He gets out in front, past the stick, and everything's all of a sudden like. Okay.
Right, settling in. And that was a drive from inside their 10. Then they had a 97-yard touchdown drive, which really they traveled 107 yards because of a penalty.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count, but still, it was a big play. Mike Tomlin's teams are now 11-5 coming off the bye week after this win. As much as they struggled to start this one, it's a huge way to kind of just get themselves back into a groove. And wait a minute, are they on a win streak?
Steelers?
Yeah,
they are.
They are. What?
Oh, that's right, a winning streak. Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know they could do that.
It's kind of like the Browns.